Check 1 2, check 1 2. Vader Games in the building. You know what it is. Special episode. Unplanned, readjusted, rescheduled. Today at this time I was to do a Why Always Me. Had the thumbnail, everything set up, had my list of topics to go through. But the news that I woke up to this morning has shifted everything around. Had to change it. I postponed Why Always Me. I'm gonna do Why Always Me later in the day. Right now, it's on the late side, but I'll see what the work day and life day turns out to be. But I gotta address this. And first things first, my people comes first. My people, those that are here, no longer here, always thought of and remembered. I'm Vader Games. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit that like button. Please be in the mix with the comments. I shout out the very first person to show love, be a part of the show in the comments every time, but also be a part of the show with continued comments as we go along. Can't lie, man. I don't even know where I really want to start with this, because I'm in a lot of minds where I want to like celebrate the great moments that have happened because of this amazing player, Kevin De Bruyne. Or do I want to reflect more so on this season and the decision that he made? So, I mean, if you're here, you obviously know of the KDB news. He made it clear on social media that this will be his final season at Manchester City. Is it a surprise? Probably not for many. And you know what? I'm going to do my best to make this a positive show. But there's also a side of me that feel a ways. I'm not going to lie. There's a side of me that feel a ways for how he's been talked about this season, how he was talked about last season. And I can't help but think that those loud voices, those annoyed voices, those voices that forgot what he's delivered, sped this up, made this decision a lot easier for him. But let me go to the comments. Let me shout the very first comment in the building. And I got to say, listen, my dude, bless up. Abdallah in the building. He goes, big up, Vader. Yo, large up, Abdallah. Thank you for being a part of the show. You know what it is. He says, KD business leaving an era. This end to an era, man. Like, I'm gonna get into it. This era has been incredible. And I'm not this ain't for clicks. This ain't, I'm just emotional right now. This is real. Kevin De Bruyne is the best. And because he's so understated, because he's just that professional football, that's it. You don't really hear about him out and about. You don't really see him trying to get his name out, all that kind of stuff. Greatest. And we're going to talk about what he's delivered in the Prem for Manchester City. Incredible. Godfrey in the building goes, big up, Vader. Hope you're good, sir. I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Before I get anybody making jokes or giving comments on the replay, my voice is this way because I was celebrating my daughter in a competition that she had early in the week. I'm a father that cheers his head off. I'm loud. So that's the reason for the voice. It is not a struggled morning of tears and crying because of the KDB news. I already can tell what you guys may say in the comments. So chill out on that. Godfrey goes, build that man a statue outside the Etihad. KDB is definitely a Prem legend. 100%. And when we think about the past players and what they meant for Manchester City and the trophies that have been received, you know what I mean? Summer B, Colin Bell, we got to mention, obviously, recently with Aguero, Silva. KDB deserves it. Easily deserves it. Yo, what a dude. Good looking out. Thank you so very much being a part of the show. Abdallah goes, injury and fitness has caught up to him. Yeah, 100%. We know that he was getting himself back into fitness. We know that he wasn't fully right after the surgery, and that does take time. It also takes patience from a fan base, which I know for many times it wasn't there. Good looking out. AJ in the building. He goes big or bitter every time. You know what it is. You know what it is. He also goes on to say, I want to say sorry. I have not been around, sir. I have not been well. Been in and out of hospital. Yo, listen, AJ. Hope you're on the mend. I hope you're getting better. Don't even have to apologize. I myself haven't been as consistent as I want to be. Thank you for those that tune in and catch me when I am live. But AJ, it's about your health. It's about your health. You take care of yourself. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you've kind of realized what's needed and you're getting back into good fitness and health, man. No worries there. No worries there at all. Everybody in the chat, show some love to AJ. Good to see him. Now, this is a special episode because it wasn't expected. I was supposed to do Why Always Me. I'm doing 115, one question, 50 minutes, and I'm gonna do that exactly. And for those of you, just allow me to vent, please. Allow me to vent. And I know I'm gonna be all over the place. All right, I know I'm gonna be all over the place. So let me actually start the clock and do this proper. So everything's nice and clean here. Actually, I didn't mean to do that. My bad. Let's go here. Boom. Vader game. All right. Kevin De Bruyne. The man that's been here before Pep. The man that was questioned from day one, pundits, the price tag that was labeled on him, right? Whether he was going to be that type of player, that have that impact. Absolutely. We got a bargain on KDB. Absolutely the right decision to get him here. So glad that he was able to be a part of this run. And he wasn't just a part of it. He was a big reason for it. Like I said, he was here before Pep, which is crazy, man. I'm going to try and find it. I wonder if I change something, if it, yeah, I can't do that. But he was here with company, Silva, Yaya, Aguero, Nasri, Sterling, Fernandinho. Listen, he's been here when we didn't have Pep. He's obviously was here and stayed here with Pep. And this has been an absolute greatest run that I've seen, that we've seen. We can't compare KDB to anyone else. He is that unique. And he's been so important to me as a fan. I think for those that are Prem fans, because obviously some of you rivals in the chat, you'd be lying. You'd be lying if when it was Manchester City versus your club that KDB wasn't that first person that you were like, oh, I hope he has a quiet game. Oh, I hope he's off. He's been absolutely that much of a difference maker. And when it comes down to like, oh, he wasn't necessarily in the conversations of being amongst the great, hey, that kind of falls on us as City fans, because we get labeled fake humble, and maybe that's changing with some of the things recently in this season. I do believe that that's changed, but we were never quite loud, never trumpeting the player like that. But he absolutely deserved it, and we were also so respectful to be like, you know, let's wait until he's done this, done that, right? Won a certain amount of prems, delivered on a UCL before we were trying to put him in those conversations. He's delivered all of that. He's delivered all of that and more. Shares the assist record with Thierry Henry and should have had it outright, because I don't know how they didn't label an assist in that season. Should have had it outright. Should have been 21 assists. But this has been a great player for many years, and a player that I don't hesitate to say the greatest. Now, I'm gonna be respectful. I'm not gonna do the whole Prem talk. That's for another time. I'm celebrating KDB for me, for Manchester City, and he has been the greatest player at Manchester City because of what he's done over the years. Now, witnessing a player in person, maybe a player in their peak, player on ability, Yaya Toure still kills it for me. Yaya is still a absolute monster, the size of the man, no homo, the ability for what he was able to do, skill. But then when I think about what a player did for their career at Manchester City, that is KDB. That's KDB, the greatest. Put a ball on a dime, seeing things that you don't see. Like I swear he's got like that X-ray vision because he's seen passes behind multiple players. He's been incredible. And I hated this news. So here's where I'm going to get emotional. I hated this news because I didn't want to have to believe it. I didn't want it to be a reality. I wanted to kind of like wait and maybe deal with that later in the season. I was talking for the longest time, KDB, one more year. All right. City, go out and get whoever. Obviously, they're talking about some big signings, but whoever you get, mentor them for 1 year. You know what I mean? Stay around, show them what it takes to be a City great. And then you pass on, you give them the keys, you give them the baton, whatever phrase you want to give. You hand them that pass of the torch for them to go on next. And that's not happening. So that dream, that hope is no longer there. But I'm gonna celebrate KDB for what it is. You see the photo right there. Class act. Simple man as well. Like I'm not missing the imagery. Simple white tee, wearing some jeans, but he's got the city blue scarf and an absolute great message. I think the reality hit quickly. I'm not gonna do the whole cringe thing like, oh, Sunday we've got to win it for KDB. No, none of that. And I'm gonna get to the comments. I see you. If you haven't hit that like button, please go so and hit that like button. But what's been absolutely incredible is we've seen like KDB grow and develop. We've seen him, and this is where I'm going to kind of tie some things in. We've seen him have to play a role at times, whether it was Pellegrini, whether it was Pep, have to play within a system of having the quality of David Silva and a Yaya Toure, and for KDB to find his place in addition to obviously Fernandinho. But with regards to him making an impact, and then when certain players have moved on, and then to continue to raise his level and be that focal point. And when there's a lot of judgment and questions on, can Phil Foden be that guy? Well, we also understand, look at Phil's journey as well. Very similar to KDB, except Phil's the younger one, and he had Silva, KDB, Yaya in front of him, right? Phil's not to be the next KDB, but Phil is to be the player that he wants. And KDB was never to be the next Yaya or the next David Silva. He was to be KDB. I love this man's career. I love the moments that he's delivered. The whole questioning a player, what did they do in finals? What did they do in big games? If you want to go nitpick and you want to go have those different distinctions, sure. But I absolutely know what City have been able to do. Centurions. What City have been able to do in terms of the treble. The domestic, winning every domestic trophy. The quadruple. Quadruple, that's formidables is actually how it was labeled. All four domestic, right? Community Shield, League Cup, FA Cup, Prem. This is killing me, man. This is killing me because I know that how many games is left? 8 games, 2 games when it now comes down to the FA. It's a countdown now. It's a countdown for KDB. It's a thank you. Thank you for everything. Let me try to get to these comments. Godfrey in the building. Showing love to AJ. Yeah, please show AJ some love. Just recovering, getting healthy again. Great to see that. City Blue goes, the best I've ever seen. Trust me. To watch him home and away over the past 10 years has been a true blessing. David is my favorite ever Blue, but Kevin is the best. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Now, like my favorite, Yaya, like David Silva was your favorite, but the best, hands down, KDB. Hands down, KDB. And I've had like some of the loudest cheers, the loudest, oh my, like, oh, some of those moments, like everyone in the house being like, are you okay? What just happened? KDB moments. KDB, most recently, you want to think about KDB coming back off injury, out for what, 4 or 5 months last year? And he was able to have that pass out there to Oscar Bob, and Oscar Bob with the nice footwork, but moments, impactful, delivering titles. That's what it's all about. A level of greatness I don't think we will see for a very long time. And you often want players that'll wow you. Like there's, you look back on and like, those numbers are crazy. Oh, look at how many consecutive times this player maybe scored or assisted or things like that. But when you look at the art of it, and this is where you get a little snobby, right? The eye test. KDB's done some incredible things that were not expected, could not anticipate, and then when done, you're just wowed by it. Zane in the building, good looking out. Zane goes, I'm putting David Silva up there as well. Yeah, David's up there, no doubt. And I'm not even going to go too crazy with the whole comparison thing because today is actually a day to recognize KDB. I know rivals, obviously rivals have said KDB's past it. He's no longer that guy. And obviously as you get older in age, you're no longer going to be that. You're no longer going to have that type of impact. But when KDB was peak of his powers, no rival wanted to see him at all. No rival wanted to see KDB on that pitch at all. Zane also goes, Pep's first Manchester derby opening goal was scored by KDB. So Sunday could be a full circle. Listen, it would be poetic. I'm sure Manchester City, I'm sure the Prem would not miss that opportunity. I think I'm also going to do another show because this celebration of KDB is not just going to be 1-1-1-5. It's not going to be 15 minutes. This KDB conversation, acknowledgement, recognition, tribute, celebration, is going to go on for a while. So please subscribe. Make sure you got the notification because it might come out of the blue. So just be a part of it. Godfrey goes, no one is filling KDB's shoes. Just glad he won't be haunting Arsenal anymore. He owned us when he was in his prime. I can't lie. Listen, Godfrey, not only you and Liverpool fans hated KDB in his pump. KDB was guaranteed to have an impact, right? And obviously, a couple seasons ago, he did Ramsdale kind of dirty. I think he put the ball between Saliba, maybe it was Saliba or maybe it was Gabriel, but he did you guys dirty. He's been doing Liverpool dirty with regards to assists that he's delivered, as well as goals. You could almost guarantee Liverpool fans, you know this, you hate this. But when Matip was still at your club, KDB would always fashion some type of deflection off of Matip to get a goal. So yeah, you two in particular are gonna love not seeing him. And to be honest, like the Red Cartel, United fans are happy he's not in his prime as well. Blue Peter goes, Was at Wolverhampton the night KDB scored 4, coming out off the ground and listening to their fans saying he's the best they've ever seen. Will stay with me. Oh, that must have been incredible. If it was a moment recorded, amazing. But yeah, Blue Peter, it's kind of like it's those moments. They don't get lost. They don't get forgotten. And his greatness is gonna down the road. I'm sure they're gonna start doing the whole comparisons. They're gonna try to diminish KDB. They're gonna take their shots. But this is the Prem's losing a great player and a pro, right? Someone that's been a great example. Been a great example for City as well as the Prem. Edison in the building, my dude from back in the day. We battled in FIFA, now EAFC. We battle. Hope you're good. I know you're having a tough season, man. Yo, I miss our gaming. I miss just catching up, talking football. Unfortunately, you know, the whole life schedule gets nuts and even being able to get online and game. But as the kids get older, maybe we'll be able to revisit that time spent better. Edison goes on to say, I'm not sure if City will be the same after KDB's departure. Nah, we definitely won't. And we weren't the same when David Silva left. We weren't the same when Aguero left. We weren't the same when Yaya left. We weren't the same when Fernandinho left. It's gonna take some adjustment. We're gonna find that next level on how we need to be successful. And I'm gonna be incredibly patient. This is the thing though. I am a patient man. In general, I'm a patient man. And I've witnessed that clearly this year where that's not matched amongst the City fan base. A few of them, some of them, most of them. Yeah, good looking out, Edison. DC in the building. My girl DC, she goes, I'm too heartbroken to chat. DC, I get it. My thumbnail was the same thing. Like I honestly didn't know where to go with this one. Because the news sucks. The news absolutely sucks. Like this is a great player. And I also don't think he's done. Let me vent for a little bit. I don't think he's done because you saw his movement over an international break. And he had everyone kind of being like, oh, where was this KDB? Oh, why isn't Pep playing him? Like, listen, player has to get back into fitness. What we saw early with KDB, why some were saying he's washed, why some were calling him old and pensioner and all that kind of stuff, right? He had to get right. And I think he got right with regards to international break. Can he play every 3 days? No, that's no longer him. Can he show his brilliance? Yes. Consistently? Probably not. And this is where I was like, KDB, let's do one more year. You mentor. You show what it takes to be a City great. And then let the next young talent find their way, try to figure it out. And this is where, listen, the heartbroken part is like, there's no KDB next year. There's none. I'm gonna remember this kit that's gonna represent the departure of KDB. That's gonna be the biggest thing that I think this kit's gonna represent. Is gonna be that's the kit. I remember that kit for when KDB left. Obviously, it's gonna be a kit where, you know, hopefully we have that FA Cup to have and see him raise a trophy one more time. But sucks. Absolutely sucks. Edison goes, have you seen the transformation from 2017 to now in KDB's face? It's crazy. Yo, listen, he's always been, this is where he got a lot of flack. So KDB's never been a ripped player. You know what I mean? But you see that he kind of had that baby face, that young baby face back then, and to see him now, and obviously he's a man, kids and stuff like that. A lot happens over 10 years. But yeah, man, he's grown up. He's become that that wise man over here at Manchester City. Suleiman goes, KDB, what a player, what a player, what a great. And listen, the greatest. He may not be your favorite, but you can't say that he is not the greatest. Can't do it. And we'll have that conversation later on. We'll be doing those comparisons because now's not the time. Fox goes, I knew this day would come, but I can't prepare for this. KDB, my guy. Listen, that's just it. Listen, Fox. I said it. I knew. I like, when it's not about putting your head in the sand. It's not like just like ignoring the signs, but it's like just having an ideal and hoping. I thought for the best for him, best for City would have been one more year. But, and this is where I'm going to go on my rant. But when I saw how he was spoken about, when I saw how, and my previous show, the show that I was supposed to do today, I don't know if you know, when those of you in the chat, the show that I was to do today was going to be Why Always Me, and it was going to be addressing. You know what? Maybe I'll put this on screen. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, I'm gonna preview this real quick. Just what? Let me fix this up real quick. But the show originally was to deal with some of the things that I think have affected KDB's decision. Let me put this on screen. So I was going to talk about, the doubting of great leadership, right? The doubting of players and managers. And there's questioning. There's like, hey, why did you do that? What made you do this? Then there's doubting, right? Then there's, I doubt that this person can get it done. I doubt that this person's still able to do it, right? And then there's giving the benefit of the doubt. It's like, you know what? You've had success. I'm going to see where this goes. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Let me see where this goes. That's more so where I land, right? I'll have some, question, like, you chose to start this, you chose to start that. Okay, why? But benefit of the doubt. Give me a trouble. Give me a 4-peat, right? You've dealt with difficult players being injured before. Let me see what you do. I think, and I'm gonna talk about that show. I'm gonna make sure stay tuned, subscribe, so you have the notifications. When I do this show, when I have it set up. Right now, it's actually set up for me to do it 7 p.m. my time out here in Toronto. So I don't know if that will still work, but stay tuned. But when it comes back to KDB, when I heard how he was talked about, how he was doubted, how they were saying, stop relying on him. Stop this amount of commitment towards him, right? When I was hearing all of that, I was like, what is going on here? If he was healthy, he'd be good to go. He's not healthy. So let's give him some time to get back. The quality is worth the wait. And the quality is worth the wait because we have other players that should be able to step up. KDB saying, you know what? I don't want to hear those doubting me for another season. I don't want to hear those saying I'm washed for another season. I don't want to hear them saying I'm old for another season. I don't want to hear them say that I'm a pensioner for another season. Y'all keep saying that, I'm out of here. So the part of me is like, I get it. I get it, KDB. I truly get it. They, you know what? They kept running this line, leave football before football leaves you, right? I also feel leave the club before the club turns on you. And when I say club, I mean the fans. Leave the club before the fans completely turn on you. And you know what? All of this, like, oh, you're old. Oh, you need to get out. If I see, because listen, I don't quite do the whole receipt thing. And I'm all over the place. I know this. I'm celebrating KDB, and now I'm upset with some of the fans. If those fans that I remember being loud saying, KDB, why is he starting? Why is he on that pitch? Why are we depending on him? Why are we leaning on him? if I see those that were mad loud about it, and he happens to be in the MLS or he happens to be in a different league, if I hear those fans that were so loud then talk about, oh, we could use KDB. Oh, look at what he's doing over there now. That might be my villain arc. That might be my villain arc. And I'm normal. I'm on the other side. I got my, what is it? My frequency. It's high. I don't try to I don't try to go low. I don't try to do that negative stuff. But for how loud some of our fans were with regards to KDB, and if he happens to be shining wherever he goes next, and they're talking about, oh, we wish you were here or we want you back. Jokers. But let me stop. Let me keep this. Let me go back to the comments. Edison goes, we all witnessing a new era coming up. All of our generations are leaving. KDB, Van Dijk, Giroud, Ibrahimovic. Yeah, I mean that's you know what? I did a couple shows. Maybe this one might have been 2 years ago. It's the cycle. It's the cycle of life. You learned about it in The Lion King, right? This is the football life. Players come and go, unfortunately, and that's why they should be celebrated when they're doing what they're doing. And when players go, there's never a like for like, right? Another player comes along with the talent that they have, with their take on the game, with their skill set, their ability, their artistry. It's different, and that's what should be celebrated. But yeah, when the players that you listed in terms of generation, yeah, they're on to the next, and we find the next stars. Brian goes, KDB is the GOAT. Put his body and career on the line. That trouble season, 100%. And listen, even when he exited in that Champions League versus Chelsea, this is the player that's given us his all to the final moment where he realized, I can't do it anymore. He said he played injured the last few months of that season. Since then, the injuries have persisted. Really is a true warrior. Listen, these players and them playing on pain, like them playing on pain meds, them playing on like anti-inflammatory, them playing on like pain injections. How do I explain this? Obviously, the pain gives signals for when something's wrong, right? Whether it's rest, whether it's injured, whether it's poor alignment, like things just aren't right. So when you play through that and your body's shooting you those pain signals, is telling you, stop what you're doing. Stop. This isn't good. So you persist through it. Then the body's got to recover. A man like Laporte, like KDB, obviously in past years, we've had the likes of even Aguero, who was running on knees with no cartilage, right? Like when players do that for you, they're heroes. They're heroes. They deserve to be celebrated and the recognition to when they're slightly off on why. They gave us their all. And KDB put everything on that line for that trouble. And that's why that embrace, if you remember that embrace between him and Pep at the end, where Pep's like, we did it, Kevin. We did it. 7 years, we did it. It's because put everything on the line, man. And you know what? Not everybody can understand or relate to that. Everybody plays sports. Not everybody competes. And yeah, KDB special, Brian. Blue Peter goes, Kevin was the last man standing pre-Pep. It is. It feels like a true end of an era, one of the greatest the league has ever seen. And he chose our club as a canvas to paint his beautiful picture. Listen, that's beautiful. Blue Peter, that is actually beautiful. I like that. I like that very much. Yeah, he's the last man standing. Let me try something here, because I want to kind of put this in perspective. I was going off memory, but I think I can pull it up. Let me do this for a second. I do that. Hold on here. Because KDB, man. What a guy. Actually, if I do this, does that work? Okay. I'm adjusting something on the fly. I hope it shows up well. Yeah, I might be all right. Let me do this. So hopefully the image shows up pretty well. But black and whited everybody else except for KDB. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. We got Bonnie, we got Zabaleta, Fernandinho, Sterling, Jesus Navas, Clichy, Aguero. That's obviously Pellegrini's time before Pep, but this is the thing. This is the thing, man. Like, it's a crazy end to an era. And he's given us so freaking much. The reason why he's the greatest as well, and we got to give him the love, is he not only delivered a prem, which, you know, Silva, Aguero, company were able to do, Yaya were able to do, Zabaleta. You know, we had prems. No disrespect, but you know, Mancini, Pellegrini gave us the prem, and those players gave us the prem. KDB gave us back-to-back prems. KDB was a part of the back-to-back prems. We won. I say only. I was almost going to do the only. I'm not going to do that. Everyone's special. Well, we got one with Mancini. We got one with Pellegrini. We got back-to-back KDB and Pep. We got back-to-back-to-back-to-back with a trouble in the middle of that. With a trouble in the middle of that. Special. Greatest. Absolute greatest. Absolute. Edison. KDB versus Scholes debate is happening on Twitter. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that debate's going to happen. United don't have much to really celebrate and talk about right now. Man United or Man Museum, because that's what they are right now. Man Museum have to talk about the past and have to do the fight for Scholes. Scholes, phenomenal player. Phenomenal. The debate can happen. I'm leaning towards KDB for what I was able to see, and I saw both play. Scholes, incredible career. KDB, absolutely amazing and an incredible career. They can have the debate. I'm not mad at it at all. Yeah. Sean C goes, hey Vader, here's to KDB, a city great. Absolutely. Absolutely. Greatest. The greatest. Yeah, Edison, I'm telling you. Man Museum. That's exactly what they are. What are they? They can only talk about the past right now. That's what they're all about. Now, if you haven't hit that like button, please do so. Well, another thing that I want to remind you with regards to KDB and what we need to be thinking about, and the debates can happen, the back and forth, the he's better, he's not better, he's done this, he hasn't done that. I'm obviously gonna prop up and big up the fact that KDB was a part of that 4P, never done before. KDB was a part of the domestic trouble, never done before. Sir Alex Ferguson himself, the great manager, right? Everyone quotes Sir Alex Ferguson. They label him as the greatest Prem manager ever. He said winning the domestic trouble was impossible. He talked about how the physicality, how the league was too demanding, the teams were too difficult, right? The season was too difficult to manage to win all 3 domestic trophies. We did that. Won the League Cup, won the Prem, won the FA Cup. Man said it was impossible. We also won the Formidable,s which were including the Community Shield. So KDB was able to do things that weren't done prior and weren't done by the greats of Manchester United and Scholes. So listen, my greatest player, I'm going to continue to celebrate him. There's going to be future shows we will do. I'm going to find a way, whether it's going to be here on YouTube or make sure you're following Vader Games over on Twitch. But we're gonna go over KDB's, not only KDB's goal catalog, but his assist catalog. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna celebrate this player, and we got it. Let's deliver. Let's continue to do what we got to do this season. Right, the season's not over. KDB is going to be very important with regards to us finishing top 4, top 5, and us winning this FA. I'm excited to see him play. I like that he and Marmoush was on the pitch at the same time. We're going to be leaning on him a lot. The emotions are going to be high. We got the Manchester derby. We got the Manchester derby on Sunday. I'm going to have to talk about that. I'm going to have to do a preview. I'm going to have to discuss that, whether it's going to be on my channel or I'm going to be featured on someone else. But yeah, you guys are on YouTube. You guys can see when I'm included in a thumbnail or I'm added. So hopefully you guys can come support me. Share this with others. Let's get this. I'm close to hitting 1K in terms of subscribers. And yeah, I'm going to be a lot more consistent. It is a tough reality, tough check with regards to the news of KDB. But let's continue to celebrate him and let's get a huge season. I'm Vader Games. This is the latest episode, newest episode of 115, one question, 50 minutes. Why KDB is the greatest. And we're going to continue to answer why he is the greatest throughout the remainder of the season. Thank you so much for the likes, subscribe, share, and stay tuned. Why Always Me will be the next show, unless there's more news dropping, right? But Why Always Me will be the next show. Thank you for the support. Good looking out. Everybody in the chat, love as always, and continue to hit that like button. Enjoy this outro, and I'll catch you next. Peace.